Hello there, amazing human. Yes, I'm talking to you. I'm kicking things off by calling you amazing because by the end of this script, you'll realize that my expectation of your greatness might actually make you smarter. Or at the very least, it'll make you listen to me for the next 8 minutes. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine you're a sculptor. You're carving a block of marble. You don't see a rock. You see a masterpiece. You treat that stone with such tenderness, such absolute certainty that it's a god, that one day it starts breathing. That's the Greek myth of Pygmalion. He was a sculptor who fell so deeply in love with the statue he carved that the goddess Aphrodite brought it to life. But in the 21st century, we don't have much marble. We have bosses, parents, teachers, and that one judgmental aunt at Thanksgiving. And here's the kicker. Their expectations of you are the chisel. They are literally carving your reality while you're just trying to enjoy your morning coffee. Today, we're talking about the Pygmalion Effect. It's the scientific proof that other people's vibes, specifically their expectations, can actually hijack your performance. It's spooky, it's powerful, and if you aren't careful, you might realize you've been living someone else's version of your life. The smart rats and the dumb students. Let's talk about Robert Rosenfeld. This guy was the Sherlock Holmes of social psychology. In the 60s, he conducted an experiment that would probably get him canceled by PETA today. But hey, it was for science. He told his students, here are two groups of rats. Group A are Bright geniuses. Group B? They're maze dull. Basically, they couldn't find their own tails with a map and a flashlight. The plot twist, the rats were identical. They were all just regular, cheese-motivated rats. But here's the magic trick. The students who thought they had genius rats handled them more gently. They cheered for them. They probably gave them tiny motivational speeches. The students with dull rats, they were cold, hurried, and impatient. The results? The genius rats actually ran the mazes faster. They performed better because the humans believed they were better. Rosenthal then took this to a school in California. He told teachers that certain kids were academic bloomers, destined for greatness, based on a special test. Again, the test was a total lie. The kids were chosen at random. But a year later, those random kids had significantly higher IQ scores. The kids didn't get smarter because of their DNA. They got smarter because of the look in their teacher's eyes. This leads us to a scary question. How many average students are actually geniuses who were simply never expected to be anything more? If a teacher can accidentally turn a kid into a genius just by thinking they are one, imagine what your toxic boss is doing to you by thinking you're a mid-level employee. We aren't just reacting to instructions. We are reacting to the energy behind the instructions. The mechanism, or why your brain is a people pleaser. You might be thinking, I'm an adult. I don't care what people think. Nice try. If you didn't care what people thought, you wouldn't have spent 40 minutes picking out an outfit that says, I'm casual, but I also have a 401k. The Pygmalion Effect works in a 4-step loop. First, their beliefs. They think you're a rock star. Second, their actions. They subconsciously give you more stretch assignments and better feedback. Third, your beliefs. You start thinking, hey, maybe I am a rock star. Fourth, your actions. You work harder, take more risks, and boom, you become a rock star. But there's a dark twin to this. It's called the Golem Effect, the evil sibling of Pygmalion. If high expectations lift you up, low expectations are the lead weights that ground you. If a manager thinks a worker is lazy, they will micromanage them. The worker feels untrusted, loses motivation, and you guessed it, actually becomes lazy. It's like being in a relationship where your partner keeps saying, I bet you're going to forget our anniversary. Eventually you think, well, if I'm already the villain in this story, I might as well enjoy the sleep-in. Be very careful about the labels you accept from others. If you live your life trying to fit into the small box someone else built for you, you will eventually shrink to fit it. You are not a bonsai tree. Don't let people prune your potential just because they can't handle your height. The corporate mirror. Let's get real about the workplace. Leadership is 10% strategy and 90% Pygmalion. A great leader sees a version of you that doesn't even exist yet. They talk to that person. They expect that person to show up. And because you don't want to let down someone who believes in you more than you do, you stretch. You grow. A bad leader, on the other hand, is like a GPS that only tells you when you've made a wrong turn. Recalculating. You're an idiot recalculating. Why are you like this? If you are a manager, your silent opinions are your most powerful tool. If you think your team is lazy, you will find lazy everywhere. Your expectations are not a private thought. They are a public broadcast that everyone is receiving on a frequency you didn't know you were using. Breaking the sculptor's chisel. So here's the scary part. If we are all being sculpted by the expectations of others, who are we really? Are we just a collection of other people's opinions? This is where we need to talk about the Galatea effect. I will make a separate video explaining the Galatea effect in more detail, so stay tuned. In short, Galatea was the statue that came to life. The Galatea effect is about your expectations of yourself. It's the only true antidote to a negative Pygmalion environment. If you rely on the world to tell you your worth, you are handing the remote control of your life to people who might not even like you. Why would you let someone who doesn't know your heart decide your ceiling? If you're in a golden environment where you're being underestimated, you have two choices. First, leave. Get out of the basement. You can't bloom in a closet. Second, internalize your own standard. You have to become so rooted in your own self-belief that external noise bounces off you like pebbles off a tank. How to hack the effect. How do we use this for good? First, audit your inner circle. Who are you hanging out with? Are they prophets of doom or prophets of potential? If your friends constantly joke about how we're all failures, they are reinforcing a ceiling over your head. Find people who expect you to win. Second, watch your self-talk. Stop saying, I'm bad with money, or I'm terrible at public speaking. Your brain is a loyal servant. It will make sure you fail just to prove you right. Third, set high support, high expectation bars. If you're a parent or a boss, don't just demand excellence. Believe in it. When someone fails, don't say, I knew it. Say, that's not like you. I know you're capable of better. That subtle shift changes everything. Conclusion. The mirror of expectation. As we wrap this up, I want you to look at your life. Are you performing at your true level, or are you performing at the level people expect of you? The Pygmalion effect proves that we are incredibly social creatures. We are like mirrors, reflecting the light or the shadows that others cast on us. But remember this, a mirror doesn't have to stay in one room. You can move. You can find a different light. And if you still find yourself failing, just tell everyone it's part of your undercover genius phase. Eventually, they might believe you, and then the Pygmalion effect will kick in and save your career. Go out there and expect greatness from someone today. Not because they've earned it, but because your expectation might be the very thing that helps them achieve it. And while you're at it, start expecting something magnificent from the person looking back at you in the mirror.